Hello everybody. So today's video is somewhere in Pennsylvania. We're almost into Somerset. We started this morning at about 4:45. Perry started running and he is just running. He'll be coming, there's a road right back here that he'll be coming along. But I wanted to do my video here today because I just found this place. Yesterday we had stopped at the Flight 93 memorial, where Flight 93 had gone down on September 11th. And this is actually, right here, this little wetland is an area that's dedicated to those that lost their lives in Flight 93, and especially to a man that worked in the Parks and Recreation for years and years and years. And so they dedicated this to him. And it's been really special to spend time at both these places. You know, last night at the memorial and this morning here, it's very peaceful up here in these mountains, and especially the mountains are my favorite place to be. So it's been really nice to be up here, and it's beautiful, and it smells good, and it's cooler, which is great for Perry as he runs. But there's just a peaceful feeling here, and as I think about Flight 93 and what happened 13 years ago, it just brings back a lot of memories. I was actually living in Pennsylvania at the time. I was a nanny for a really great family, and I remember when the trade centers got hit, we didn't really understand the full extent of it until later on, but until a few hours later. But we were actually planning on going into New York City on the 12th of September to go to a Broadway show, and obviously that got canceled. The city was shut down. But I remember being really scared when they said there was still a flight or a plane in Pennsylvania. You know, being in Pennsylvania, I had this fear, like, oh my goodness, it's going to show up, it's going to be, what if it crashes right here? And there was such a fear for a few days of all those events, and I remember it so clearly still, and it's crazy to think that 13 years have passed. And as we come up to September 11th in a couple days, I reflect on that time and think about, it was a really scary time. It was a really, I was away from my family, I was away from home, and I remember just wanting to go home. I just wanted to go be with my family and be with people I loved, and it was really hard. And I think as a nation, and even people throughout the world, it was a really sad time. And I think it was also a time though when people really learned how to pull together. They really learned how to kind of let go of some of the judgment and the hatred and pull together as a people, and to overcome such a tragedy, and to realize that there's still good, there's still love in the world, and that people are different. We're all different, but yet there's the ability to love each other no matter what. And I think September 11th really caused us to reflect on what's important, and on relationships, on who we want to be, and the kind of world we want our kids to grow up in. And there's still a lot going on, and people are suffering tragedy every day, and terrorist attacks throughout the world. And I think being up here just reminds me that there's still so much good in the world. Especially, I think about the guys on Flight 93 who, they called their wives, they called home, they found out what was going on, and they made a plan, and they decided to take out, the terrorists and get that plane down before it hit the U.S. Capitol. And I can't even imagine what happened on that plane, and the feelings everyone was going through, what they were doing. But I think about how brave those men were, and women too, I'm sure, who knew they were going to lose their lives, but who were willing to go out strong, to go out and fight for their country, for the people they loved, and to possibly save quite a few lives with what they did. So it's just amazing. September 11th is always a tender time. It's a time to reflect and to think about things, and I think being here just amplifies it even more. Just how grateful I am that I do have freedom, and as an American and as a member of society in general, I can contribute and be a good contributor, and to be kind and to love and to treat people better, no matter who they are, what they do, how different they might be from me, different opinions we may have. There's still the ability to love and to treat people kindly, and it's so cool to be here. I've always wondered where that plane crashed, and all of a sudden here I am, just out of the blue. Here it is, and it's powerful. So if you get a chance, come. Like I said, it's just outside Somerset, Pennsylvania. Such a beautiful place. It's absolutely gorgeous up here, and watching the sun come up this morning over the mountains was just beautiful. And I was following Perry up a hill this morning. He had a huge hill to climb again, and it was really early and there was no one on the road, so I kind of just creeped behind him the whole time so he had some extra light, and we went up this huge hill, and all of a sudden he stopped and he pointed out the trees, and there was the sun coming up over the valley, and it was so beautiful. And it's such a great thing to witness. Although getting up in the morning is really hard, it's my favorite time of day. It's just when things start to come to life and the sun slowly comes up, and it's quiet, it's peaceful, and there's just so much beauty to see. And I've really loved the mornings out here. And this morning's one of the best. It's gorgeous, and just being here has been special. So anyway, we're on day 7. We've almost been a week on the road. Perry's tugging up. He's gonna pass, I want to say 350, 375 miles today. He's going at it strong, and he's just absolutely incredible. Another person just full of bravery and courage who's pushing along, and it's just inspiring, and I'm grateful to be a part of it. Anyway, have a great Sunday, and I'll talk to you guys later. And just behind those trees, I don't know if I pointed this out, but just behind the trees back there across the road is where the crash site was, and it's quite magnificent to see.